Let's get into our first story now. Senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Gyampo, has warned that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes to sharpen the conduct of policy formulation and implementation will continue to suffer so long as citizens are unable to force or compel government to respect the principle of state policy as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution by continuing with ongoing projects. Speaking at the third annual research conference of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Development Studies, Professor Gyampo noted that the habit of discontinuing projects when there was a change in government did not augur well for the development of the country. Rafiq Salam now reports from WA.
The 2023 Research and Development Conference of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies (SDDU-BITS) was held on the theme Bridging the Gap Between Applied Research, Policy Formulation and Implementation. The conference is the third of the university since its attaining autonomous status in 2019 and attended by over 90 participants from different universities and institutions across the country. Senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Prof Gyampo, expressed worry over the plethora of policies that has been formulated by ruling governments but thrown away immediately there is a change of government. Professor Gyampo warned that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes shaping the conduct of policy formulation and implementation will continue to suffer as long as citizens are unable to force or compel government to respect the directive principle of state policy as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution.
The first time we had a long-term national vision for Ghana was Vision 2020 in 1996. It was prepared by power changers, it was thrown away. I am saying that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes shaping the conduct of policy, formulation and implementation will continue to suffer so long as we are unable to force or compel government to respect the provisions in the directive principles of state policy, chapter 6 of the 1992 Constitution, that enjoins government to, as much as possible, continue with projects, programs that may have been initiated by predecessor governments. So just think about it. If a program or a policy is being implemented and it benefited extensively from research, and a new government comes and just throws it away, introduces its own, then where are we going?
Many promises of political leaders in the country have not been fulfilled, thereby having some bearings on the gaps between applied research and policy formulation, citing the following example.
Promised an agenda 111 to build 111 hospitals across the length and breadth of the country within a very limited period of time, only to realize that common land acquisition in Ghana for the implementation of such a project is not even easy. I am saying that the ideals and canons of applied research would have tampered such a promise with some trepidation.
Professor Gyampo later joined former Pro-Vice Chancellor of UDS, Professor David Miller, and Dean of Students of the Faculty of Integrated Development Studies at SDDU-BITS, Professor Africanus Diedong, for a panel discussion on the theme.
Bushfire policy that was transformed into the wildfire law, applied research contributed to the transformation. We have the SADA master plan that applied research contributed to, but it has been abandoned for political reasons, and so on and so forth. So I'll show you that there are some policies that have been off-taken in full, some in parts, some have been abandoned.
Sometimes we are not able to make this important shift between the important areas of our research which has been published in top-notch journals and other publications. We need to develop that special skill, and many of us do not have it. Because when you talk about applied research and policy formulation, it is another technical area that we as academics need to develop so that our research output will feed into nationally relevant discourse.
Director of Research, Innovation and Consultancy, Professor Frederick Dayour, also shed some light about the annual conference.
Compared to 72 papers presented in 2022, this year's conference witnessed a surge in abstract submissions totaling 104. Impressively, 84 of these abstracts